Hello. I guess this says it all, for it is the question that brought you here. Do I need to be MSHA trained? First, let me tell you who I am. First and foremost, I'm a Christian, a father, grandfather, and husband. After that, I'm an MSHA Part 46 and Part 50 compliance documentation expert. I am a certified mine safety professional. I have worked in the Part 46 mining industry since 2003. I was the safety and health manager of a cement plant on the West Coast, and I'm presently the safety and health manager for a cement plant with a separate quarry in the U.S. Southeast. I have participated in well over 200 MSHA inspections, including one that was a fatality investigation. I've been through several Part 50 audits. I've taken MSHA cases before the courts and have won. I've been an MSHA compliance documentation trainer since 2014, and my business name is part46compliance.com. Now that you know who I am, let me tell you why I'm presenting this short educational video to you. One, I don't want you to get in trouble with the government just because you're trying to feed your family and didn't know the rules. I've seen it happen too many times, and it sickens me when it does. And two, yes, I am here to sell you my services if you feel that you need them. One last thing before we start. If you have any questions during this video, I have provided my email link in each slide so that you may reach out to me, and I encourage you to do so. Just talking and asking questions with me doesn't cost a dime. With that out of the way, let us begin. The reason you are here is because you are wondering, do I need to be MSHA trained? If you are asking this question, there is a good chance the answer is yes, for either you have been told you need MSHA training, or somebody has mentioned to you that you might. With this said, first you must determine where you'll be working. If you perform work on mine property, you not only fall under the rules of the mine, but you also fall under the jurisdiction of the Mine Safety and Health Administration, MSHA. Ask the place where you are looking to work if they are a mine site, and they should tell you. Without getting into the history of MSHA, let's just say they are the mine version of OSHA, except with a lot more authority. Now, if you are wanting to get ahead of the game and cover your bases before you approach a possible mining business, this is when you will need to do a little legwork to find out if they are a mine site. Back in 1977, when Congress passed the Mine Act, they used a wide brush in defining a mine. But they didn't just consider the underground mines when passing the act. They took into consideration all types of mining and associated work, and it is the associated work section that nails most contractors. The Mine Act states each coal or other mine, the products of which enter commerce, or the operations or products of which affect commerce, and each operator of such mine, and every miner in such mine shall be subject to the provisions of this act. Have you ever wondered if lawyers talk like that at home? The Mine Act goes on to define a mine as coal or other mine means an area of land from which minerals are extracted in non-liquid form, if in liquid form are extracted with workers underground, private ways and roads appertinent to such areas, and lands, excavations, underground passageways, shafts, slopes, tunnels, and workings, structures, facilities, equipment, machines, tools, or other property including impoundments, retention dams, and tailing ponds on the surface or underground, used in or to be used in or resulting from the work of extracting such minerals from their natural deposits in non-liquid form, or if in liquid form with workers underground or used in or to be used in the milling of such minerals, or the work of preparing coal or other minerals, and includes custom coal preparation facilities. In making a determination of what constitutes mineral milling for purposes of this act, the Secretary shall give due consideration to the convenience of administration resulting from the delegation to one Assistant Secretary of all authority with respect to the health and safety of miners employed at one physical establishment. Quite the mouthful, isn't it? Let me simplify. If it comes from the ground and it doesn't grow when watered, it is probably mined. If it is mined, it is a mine site. If there is equipment that assists in the mining and milling process, it is mining equipment. If you are working on that mine site, good chances are you are a miner. So now that you know you'll be working on a mine site, you now must determine what type of site it is, Part 46 or Part 48. This is actually a pretty straightforward determination. If you'll be working at a coal mine, mines with any sections underground, or mines digging up a metal, you fall under Part 48 standards and you will need Part 48 new miner training. For this, you will need to seek out a Part 48 trainer who can help you, as I only deal with Part 46 operations. A Part 46 operation is one that has no underground mining portions and does not mine metals. If the operation is a sand, gravel, surface stone, surface clay, surface limestone, colloidal phosphate, shell dredging operation, surface marble, granite, sandstone, slate, shell, trap rock, kaolin, cement, feldspar, or lime operation, it is considered a Part 46 mine. If you think you'll be working on a Part 46 mine site, then continue on. Now that you've determined you'll be working at a Part 46 mine, you must determine if you fall under the mandatory training and record-keeping requirements that may apply. I say may, as this is an often confused area with MSHA due to a lot of misinterpretations that has occurred over the years. Okay, the following is for Part 46 locations only. The Mine Act states that those working on a mine site are miners and must have miner training. However, they gave a little leeway to contractors who only work at mines occasionally. This leeway is where the confusions arise. So let's break it down. If you are a construction worker who is exposed to any mining hazards for any period of time, you are considered a miner and must have miner training along with all the other requirements. I'll speak of the other requirements in a bit. If you are a scientific worker, delivery worker, over-the-road truck driver, customer, vendor, or visitor, you are not considered a miner because you are not performing mining activities. If your company already has an MSHA contractor ID, even if it was acquired by a previous owner years ago, all employees of that company who work on a mine site are required to be up to date on their training and be current on all the other requirements, no matter if they're on site 1 hour, 1 day, or 1 month. Once an ID is issued to a company, no exemptions exist. If you perform work on a mine site and are exposed to any mining hazards for more than 5 consecutive days, you are a miner and you will need miner training along with acquiring and maintaining all the other requirements. If you perform work on a mine site and are exposed to any mining hazards on a frequent basis, you are a miner and must comply. Per the general consensus of the courts, frequent means a pattern occurring intermittently and repeatedly over time. If you show up 1 day each month or on multiple sites throughout the year, even if only for an hour or two, or visit a mine site year after year like clockwork, you are considered frequent and would be considered a miner. One more thing, no matter who you are, everyone who enters a mine site must have site-specific hazard awareness training. No exceptions. Everyone. Now, once you have determined you are a miner, it now actually gets easy as there is no more guessing. Now, if you have figured out you or your employees are miners, then you will need to become an independent contractor with MSHA. No exceptions. Why do you need to become an independent contractor with MSHA? Simple. When you're working on mining property, you are essentially a mine operator and can be charged as one if a violative condition is found and you have control over it. If you are found to qualify as a miner and are working on a mine site without the required training, MSHA will not only write you and the company a citation, but they will pull you off site until you and your employees are all properly trained. And the training must be done during regularly scheduled work hours. To become an independent contractor in the eyes of MSHA, you must apply for an MSHA contractor ID. The securing of an MSHA contractor ID usually takes around a week, give or take a couple of days if any issues are found in your application. For one client, I was able to secure a contractor ID in 1 day, yet at the same time, I knew of one contractor who applied on his own and it took over 2 months to secure his company's ID. Both rare, but it can happen. Next, you must make a training plan that complies with the MSHA requirements. A training plan consists of stating who is responsible for the safety of everyone who can provide training, how they will train, what they will train on, how long the training will be, and when. All training plans must be approved by MSHA. This is where a big difference between Part 46 and Part 48 apply. For a Part 48 training plan, it must be sent to the MSHA district manager for their approval, and this approval can take around a month if there are no issues. With an MSHA Part 46 training plan, it is considered approved if all the required listings in the Title 30 Code of Federal Regulations are addressed in it. After making a training plan, or having a reputable service like Part 46 compliance do it for you, you must train your employees. All new miners are required to have minimum training in 7 areas before they are allowed to begin work on a mine site. Within 60 days of their initial training, they must have a review of first aid methods and respirators, and the remainder of their required 24 hours of new miner training must be completed by the end of their first 90 calendar days. The training can be done either online or in person, but it needs to be done by a competent person, company, or organization that is listed on the training plan. All Part 46compliance.com plans have Part 46compliance.com listed as their approved trainer. For a new miner, the minimum amount of time the person must be trained is 4 hours, with 8 hours being preferred. Once the new miner secures their training, then they can work on a mine site. However, they must work with an experienced miner until they acquire their full 24 hours of new miner training. Now, when you task train your employees, which all employees must be trained for the task they will be performing, you can use that training time for portions of the 24-hour training. The key is that training and all training must be documented on an MSHA approved form. One item of note here, MSHA requires 8 hours of yearly annual refresher training for all miners, and it must be done within 12 months of any previous miner training. This training must also comply with requirements spelled out in the MSHA approved training plan. Now that you have your contractor ID, MSHA approved training plan, everyone trained and documented, then you need to start worrying about all the other requirements. After every year's quarter, you must document and submit your mine site's working hours and employee count to MSHA, or have me do it for you. If I follow your hours, I'll remind you to give me your hours worked, and I will then submit them and provide you with documentation put in your compliance book. Failure to document your hours on time is one of the most cited standards for contractors, and each missed or late filing brings a $121 automatic citation, and they go back 4 quarters. There are a few other requirements you will need to keep an eye on. Documentation and filing of any accidents requiring medical aid, the annual refresher training, which I can write your training plan where you will take care of that through tailgate talks, which I provide, HAZCOM, independent contractor registry, daily pre-work documented exams, pre-use mobile equipment exams, and electrical ground checks. Well, I hope I didn't scare you off, as good money can be had by working on mine sites. Talk to me and see if you need my services, and don't worry, I will not steer you wrong, for even though I would love to have your business, I only want it in an ethical way, for I answer to a higher authority. Thank you.